Friday, everybody. Adrian Fontes, your Arizona Secretary of State. It's Fridays with Fontes. I've got a book recommendation for you. I've got a couple of topics I want to cover. But really fun right at the top here, I want to talk about the logo contest for America 250. Arizona's America 250, the celebration of the United States of America's semi-quincentennial. What does that mean? Quincentennial's 500, semi-quincentennial's 250. Nobody used to know what bicentennial meant, so we can figure out semi-quincentennial. What you're seeing over here running through is the logos in our logo contest, and there are 10 of them that the commission filtered through dozens of entries that we had, and these are the different logos that you can vote on. You might like some of them better, you might not. We've got over 650 votes have been cast so far. You can go to azsos.gov, that's azsos.gov, and cast your vote for your favorite logo. I have no idea which one they're showing right here because, technology. And anyway, it should be a lot of fun. So these are the 10 logos we're probably almost done with all 10 of them now. azsos.gov. Vote for your favorite logo and share the link with other people. Tell them to go on there, vote for the logo. Until November 12th is, December 12th. It's December 12th. We started on November 12th, sorry. It's been a long couple of weeks. And I don't know that anybody knows why, but in any event, that's ongoing. The other thing we still have available are nominations for the John Lewis Youth Leadership Award. It's an award that comes from the National Association of Secretaries of State. It is dedicated to young folks who are 25 or younger than 25 years old on the date of award. That's December 12th. Folks who have done some really great civic stuff in their communities. Again, go to the same website, azsos.gov, if you want some information about the John Lewis Youth Leadership Award. We will be selecting the winner of that award for Arizona from the National Association of Secretaries of State. Super happy about that one. Now, on Monday, you are going to see us doing the canvas. Now, what does a canvas mean? Let me answer a couple of quick questions. When people certify an election, what they're saying is, especially at the county level and then at the state level, what we're saying is we certify that these are the numbers that we have received from the election department. That's the certification. It's not a certification that says this is exactly accurate and it doesn't change and nothing will ever be, because that's when you can start, like when you certify, then you can start doing your lawsuits and playing your games and all that stuff, right? You can't do a recount until you've certified the election. You can't do any of that. So like the certification is actually a legal mandate. You've got to do it. Now, what a lot of people have these angst about, well, I'm certifying something, I have questions. Well, great. Ask your questions. But the certification is, these are the official numbers you got from the election department. That's your baseline. That's where you're setting the stage. Then if there's a challenge, then if there's something else, then you move forward. But you've got to have some starting point. You can't just go, well, they're estimating here it is, and I don't like what, right? So there's a process here, folks. Process. So I know some people have that misunderstanding. Our canvas, which is our state certification of those county certifications, is going to be on November 25th, this coming Monday. We're going to do it on YouTube Live here. We're going to have folks in the media nearby somewhere to be asking some questions if they've got any. So that's an exciting point, because after that, then the electors will have been certified. They will go ahead and move forward for the president. Everybody else's election is done. Then they'll move forward. The governor will issue her certificate of ascertainment, communicate that over to the powers that be in Washington, D.C., and we will be done. So this process is moving along just like it's supposed to. And let me take a quick second here and congratulate all of the elections officials across the state of Arizona. Because you know what? We had a pretty good election here in the state. And there were admittedly a couple of bumps in the road in different counties, but each of those were little individual sort of isolated incidences. But the reality is that all in all, and all things considered, our team did a great job helping those counties. And I'm really proud of the folks here at the Arizona Secretary of State's office and all of the county officials out there who did such a good job and are continuing to do that good work up until this moment, because some of our canvases are just finishing up here. So congratulations to the entire Arizona elections administration family. Job well done for 2024. Okay, we've got that one, that one, that one. Thanksgiving is next Thursday. It's Turkey Day. So just a couple of quick hints. I deep fry turkeys on Thanksgiving. That's what I do. We don't do a big formal sit down and have a bunch of, silverware and plates and formality. It's kind of a pain in the tail. And if you've ever prepared a meal like that, it's really hard to time everything so that it just comes out just right. Usually one or two dishes are, a little more or less. So we've informalized the whole thing, but I actually do some stuff for friends and family. So I run 2 big giant deep fryers and I deep fry turkeys. And I have folks come over. I do a giant 2 big old things of oil, and people will bring their turkey over. We'll hang out, we'll have a snack, maybe sip on an adult beverage, pull the turkey out, and then they go off and they have their meal with their perfectly well deep fried turkey. And we kind of run several turkeys through, and it's great. So that's what I do on Thanksgiving. I hope your Thanksgiving traditions are at least as safe, because we are very safe when we do it. A lot of people are like, oh, oil. Well, it's just hot. You just got to be careful. Anyway, wishing you all a happy and safe Thanksgiving. Next week, quickly to our book recommendation for the week. This one is really cool. New Deal Art in Arizona. This book is phenomenal. It's by Betsy Fahlman, and this has all kinds of really great stuff. It's got photography, and it's mostly black and white photos, but you look at the way a lot of these artists laid out different bits of architecture, and it's got these great stories and stuff about some of this New Deal art specifically in Arizona, right? Some of the sculptures and some of the paintings. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Can we see that?
Yeah, just tilt it back towards you. Yeah, there you go.
Towards me? Mm-hmm. Okay, see? Stuff. Anyway, New Deal art in Arizona. Another book by the University of Arizona Press. The University of Arizona Press does a lot of really good stuff, y'all. You should check them out. They do a bunch of good stuff down there in Tucson. Most of it has to do with publishing of books. Okay, questions for today as we run through our Friday. What can Arizonans do to help the process of counting ballots? Well, you can go work for the county and help tabulate. But if the question really is about speeding up the process, look, there's 3 things in elections that you can have. You can have them, I said 3 things and I'm starting over here. Look, you can have them cheap, you can have them accurate, or you can have them fast. In Arizona, we have opted for cheap and accurate. You can't have all 3 at the same time. Now, if we want accurate and fast, it's going to cost us some money. And there's these conversations that are floating around all over the place, and I keep hearing people about, oh, don't let people mail ballots after this day, and let them vote in the polling places with their mail-in ballots and all these other kinds of things. Listen, there's a whole bunch that goes into this stuff, and I want to make sure that we do it right. So let me just say this, and this isn't political, by the way. I just want to say this. A lot of people want our results to be faster, but in making proposals, sometimes people misunderstand the technology that we use or the way that we need to secure and account for all of our ballots, right? So we've got to be very careful when we start telling people, oh, just show up on election day and run your mail-in ballot through the tabulator. Sometimes those ballots won't go through those tabulators. And can we make adjustments in the technology? Our contractors have to do that because this is all proprietary stuff that we use, certified by my office, certified by the EAC at the federal level, etc. So we've got to have intelligent conversations about these things. So I've told some members of the legislature and some folks in other spaces, hey, we're happy to lend our technical expertise here. We know a little bit about running elections. 2024 was pretty smooth. Bring us into the conversation. Happy to have that conversation. But it's going to cost us a few bucks if we want to get our results a little quicker. That's all on that one. Okay, if you had a magic wand, what would you do to speed up the election count? And what changes would you make and how? Here's what I would do. I would say, hocus pocus, give elections administrators the resources they need. It's really that simple, folks. Like I was just explaining. You got to pay for it if that's what you want. And I'm perfectly okay with the legislature handing over some funds to all of these rural counties who are really busting at the seams on their budgets. And they've got a really rough time. because a lot of these counties are really small. I mean, Greenlee County has 6,000 something voters in it. It's a small population, and so their tax revenues are not that great, and the state puts huge demands on them. You know, it's the same in Apache County. Rough to run elections in the longest county at over 208 miles from tip to tip. Sometimes it takes more than 4 hours to get from the county seat to one of their vote centers. And you know, if you have a busted printer or something that needs to, it can be rough. So they need the magic wand is like, boop, here's the resources that you need: money, training, equipment, and good planning and good budgeting out for several years so that you can continue to improve these things over time. That's what my magic wand would do. All right, what can Arizona community organizations and groups do to be more active and helpful leading up to an election? Here's what you can do. Have open forums. Have conversations and discussions about propositions. Invite candidates to come and speak, right? One of the biggest problems we have in our politics is that we're afraid of our politics. We're afraid to speak about politics because someone's going to get their feelings hurt. Someone's going to say something that's kind of a little cross. Look, we're grown-ups, most of us. And if we can't just have a conversation about politics or policy, then like what can we have conversations about? This is how we live together. This is how we're supposed to govern. And as citizens, if we can't have those conversations, how are we supposed to let our legislators and our government officials, how are we supposed to expect them to solve our problems? If we can't just look one another in the eye, a Democrat and a Republican, an independent and a Green Party member, and just have a mature conversation. Think about it. People are always saying, oh, it's impolite. Well, it's not impolite. What that means is I'm very sensitive about my political opinion, so much so that if you say something that's crossways to that, I'll get my pretty little feelings hurt. That's not impolite. That's being a snowflake. I know people disagree with me. There are a lot of things that people disagree with me on, and that's okay. They have every reason to believe what they believe. My comms director, he's a veteran of the United States Army. He doesn't know how to eat crayons. This Marine does. We disagree on snack food. Right, Thacker?
Yes, sir.
See? We disagree on snack food. We can disagree on these things. Seriously, folks, community organizations need to get more involved in policy. Because if you're out there trying to solve society's problems, if you're out there trying to bring people together, why wouldn't you do exactly what it is that is our organizing space? Government. Why wouldn't you talk about it? We've got to be bold and we've got to be tolerant of all of these ideas. Now, that having been said, it's never bad to punch a Nazi, okay? I want to be really clear about that. Other than that, we can disagree on things. So, that's what Arizona community organizations can do. Get more involved in the civic space, get more involved in voter registration, and be okay with a little bit of disagreement on the political side. You can still be together feeding the homeless. You can still be together rescuing pets. You can still be together in a religious or faith organization. You can still be together in other ways, even if you've got a little bit of a political disagreement. Let's take politics and put it subject to everything else. That's what we should do. And I think that's what community organizers ought to be doing around the state for the betterment of everybody. My name is Adrian Fontes. I'm the Arizona Secretary of State. This is Fridays with Fontes. Make sure that as the holiday week comes around, if you're going to celebrate and you're going to enjoy an adult beverage or two, please do not drive. There's plenty of rideshare options out there. Otherwise, be safe, especially if you're frying turkeys, and have a great and a grateful Thanksgiving week. Bye, everybody.